We will.
Wrong lever, Kronk.
Yeah.
Oh,
Fine.
Impending
my
doom
God.
2.
So many voices. Hey, hi, welcome to Radiant Shadows, a 5e actual play D&D campaign where one Kiwi DMs for a group of talented Australians and hopes that the wheels don't fall off too badly. My name's Ham. I am that one Kiwi DM. We're going to do a whip around of everybody else who is in the game. We'll go through announcements, and then we will jump into the game proper. Who wants to start off first? I normally pick someone, but I want to empower you guys. And this is what happens when that happens.
I choose John.
I choose John. Okay, cool. Excellent.
I'm
not
I
in a
was about to
Pokeball
do
I
that.
choose the owner of the channel.
Yeah. John, go.
I've just got this picture of Promethean throwing out a Pokeball. Yes. Hi, I'm John the Dragon from Meeples and Dragons. Announcement that SazTheMeeple is thrown into my lap, literally less than an hour ago, to let everybody know that there is a bunch of merch announcements now available on, through Fourth War, if people are familiar with it. And she's thrown a few samples my way here for me to show everybody.
Like actual real physical.
Yes, real
like,
physical stuff.
Wow.
Literal was used like literally.
Literally.
I guess.
Yeah,
Not
but no one
figuratively?
uses literally.
I know. I was like,
Everyone uses literally
Figuratively.
figuratively.
Yeah, I hate them. Anyway.
goddamn contronyms. Ugh, it's the worst.
The first one is the notebooks that Saz has had made up. Roll to boot
Very cool.
with
Outstanding.
Move your fingers.
Fingers.
You need
Roll
the
to boop. There it is.
Roll to
Yeah.
boo.
Get you in-
Boo.
We'll get you to be an
roll to
Instagram-
boo.
like a-
Thanks.
Beauty guru soon.
Yeah.
Okay, I've only shown one, and you guys are already going there.
That's okay. You're fine. You got this, John.
Larry's only
Larry
phase.
Oh yeah.
Love it.
Coming to a website near you.
And of course, where would we be out without sparkle
My
cookies?
sparkle cookies are
Those
up
are up
here.
here. Outstanding.
Now they're
So-
wonderfully lined books with the dots in it rather than the lines, so you can actually use it also for drawing up your
Awesome.
encounter maps and so forth.
So if
No.
you're needing something for notes for like your own campaign and stuff like that,
Yeah, fantastic. Plus,
No,
there's quite a few.
no,
I'm actually
no.
surprised how many pages there are in these too. It's
They're
not,
good.
not small.
The fourth one ones are good.
They look pretty chunky.
No daily coffee journal. No Grumpfel secret.
Not yet.
Yeah.
And
No.
then, of course, each of those
I-
designs are also available in the stickers. And of course, because everybody loves the pins, we've got extra large and extra small.
yeah.
Woo!
So cute.
But they're
Pins or
all
badges?
available through
we
four.
Roll to a
don't.
book.
We don't need no stinking.
They're
badge.
badges.
Badges.
Big one is a badge and little one is a pin.
Well, yeah, they're both badges. Pins badges.
Badges.
They all mean the same thing to me, unfortunately. Yeah, yes, if people are interested, they're now available on Fourth War. I believe Saz is probably going to drop the link, hopefully. There she goes. If you guys want to purchase anything there, it goes into helping run the stream and keeps us going, keeps the lights on.
Yeah. Awesome. Excellent. Thank you very much, John. John, who are you going to throw under the bus next?
I think I might... Promethean, I choose you.
Oh, hey.
Oh.
Aww.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. I appreciate the opportunity.
Aw, friends.
Yeah. Let's give you a hug. Oh. Hi. I'm Promethean. I here tonight will be Delgrim, the Dwergar Ranger, who's very keen to meet this entity that we may or may not decide to wander in on over the course of the evening. That's what I do here. You'll also find me playing over on It's Fate Script, an entirely different campaign run by Emily, who we collectively love and adore. And you'll find me running my very own first little baby campaign, now hosted on the Law Rights on Twitch. Next session this weekend, Sunday.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. It's going to be fun. I've
Exciting.
got a couple of cool players.
Yeah.
Two of them are here in this conversation. One of them you can't see. So it's a good time. Come check it out.
It is. It's amazing. It's great. Awesome. Mr. Methian, who are you going to volunteer?
Look, I'm still reeling from the fact that we had Rowan through an entire session, and Rowan barely spoke for the entirety of that session. So I'll throw to Kate. So
I was here. I actively tried to say words occasionally. Hi, I'm Kate. I'm a Sullivan Kate on all the things, including, I think, technically since our last stream, now on Twitch. Because I feel like it's been that long since we streamed that I now stream, which is a wild thing. You can find me over on the Sullivan Kate, I guess. I'm also playing Rowan, the cause of our current predicament, because I decided to make an observation. And tomorrow, importantly, I will be hanging out with Jack Squarepeg and Matt Brown from Split the Party over on Jack's channel to talk positive game design and its impacts on game masters and players. Me being a player, Matt being a game master. As something for, I think it's St Kilda Libraries, Port Phillip Library, because Jack doesn't work with them. That is at 10:30 in the morning. Melbourne time, which is 7:30 in the morning for me. So come hang out and watch me not have any caffeine in my system whilst trying to
That's
stream.
great.
It's going to be entertaining.
That'd be
It's
amazing.
going to be good. Yeah,
Get a
so
real
that's
time
over on
zone.
Jack's Webber. Look, it's real. The sun's still up for me.
Aish. Awesome. Excellent.
I'm going to throw to the other chaotic halfling in the bunch. I'm going to throw down to Cass.
Thank you. Hi, Cass or Shadowmere. I'm actively hoping the wheels do fall off. And I play Miera, the sweetest little halfling, also purveyor of chaos and cookies.
Yeah. Excellent. Perfect. Lovely.
And I will throw to the delightful Grumpfel.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight's performance of Heath will be performed by Grumpfel. Hello, everyone. I'm Heath. I'm also known as the Antipodean D20 here on Twitch when I'm not streaming with Meeples and Dragons. You can find me on all the socials at the Antipodean D20. I write little stories, I do little sketches, and occasionally I make voices and noises.
Perfect.
Welcome.
Excellent. And of course, we have Saz lurking in the background, she who must be obeyed, the Supreme Overlord, Grand High Master, in control of all of the production stuff. Without her, none of this would happen. We'd all just be sitting in front of our cameras, but actually not on a stream or probably not even on Zoom. And it'd be really weird and uncomfortable. So Saz, thank you for everything that you do. It is always greatly appreciated. And for those of you who sometimes question whether she's actually a real human being, as Promethean said, come along on Sunday to the Law Rights channel and you'll actually get verification that she is actually a human being because she is playing in that campaign.
Not
some other
as
knob.
a
Tiny
human.
fairy too.
As a human. Well, no, she's playing as a fairy, but she is a
Correct.
human. Or is she? I don't know. Any other announcements from anybody? I think we're pretty good. Okay. Oh,
Oh, yeah. Whoops. Yeah, but I can wait to the end. Just
Okay.
I'll plug something at the end. It's fine.
cool. Sweet.
As
Awesome.
well as
All
I
right.
have a second thing to plug. Whoops.
It is. It has been a hot minute since we last played. I think it's been approximately 3 years. So I'm going to read out our usual little recap and hope that I haven't forgotten anything or missed anything, and the players will fill in any gaps that I might have missed or misrepresented or just completely made up, because there might be some stuff in here which I just kind of threw on a page because I couldn't remember. So, where last we left off, our brave heroes had discovered a massive underground cavern and a strange ancient ziggurat. Briefly discussing whether to press on or rest for the moment, the party pushed forward, urged on towards the sound of the distant waterfall by the strange sensations in Delgrim's mind. Finally arriving at the thundering waters, Delgrim sensed that whatever was calling to him was deep below the surface. So after quickly tying himself to a rope held by his friends, he plunged into the murky depths. Unable to see, our Duragar ranger used his blind sight to guide himself deeper until he discovered what appeared to be the remains of an unfortunate soul who had, clasped in one hand, an unusual-looking crystal. Being short of breath, Delgrim was able to break off the hand, which still clung tightly to its prize, and made a quick grab for a bag which seemed unaffected by the cold waters and its time beneath the surface, before surging back up to the top. Once out of the water, the group took a moment to inspect the spoils, with Miera rather ungraciously breaking the skeletal hand to remove the crystal shard, as well as a strange-looking emerald ring on one of its fingers. It was then that a voice, initially only heard by Delgrim, spoke to the party. Known only as Dana, this voice, which seemed to come from the crystal they had discovered, spoke of itself as singular, as well as referencing we. As the party questioned the strange creature further, they discovered that it had been down in the depths for possibly thousands of years, originally defeated by the Knights of Harrowfell. Although the more they talked with it, the more it appeared that this Dana was not entirely whole of mind. Dana urged them to go to the ziggurat and there help it, although what lurked inside the strange building wasn't entirely clear. But as they started towards it, another voice, similar to Dana but more intense, spoke to them. Dana advised that this was Esma, but her words were confusing on what or who Esma was, and what their connection to Dana was. Battered and tired from the descent and the encounters with the creatures above, the party stopped for a moment to consider their actions. It was then that Rowan expressed her frustrations and concerns with moving forward, and what exactly the party was doing. Heated words were exchanged, and for the moment, the party stood divided. Do they move onwards towards the mighty ziggurat and help this strange being known as Dana? Or do they flee, leaving behind the mysteries of what might lie ahead? I'm aware that Grumpfel, you had also moved off to the side to take a moment as well. Rowan had gone in the opposite direction, leaving the other three standing sort of in the middle of this giant cavern space. So, what would you guys like to do?
Quick bit of table talk I'll throw in. It's not really an unknown entity. It's definitively the spirit of a 4,000-year dead dragon, based on the conversation that we had with it, or a splinter of that spirit.
Oh, okay. I could not remember how much I had said, so that's cool. That's
Big chunky wing thing.
Yeah, it was
big
a
statue
wing.
on top of ziggurat.
In a world
Big
that
concerns.
famously was to not have dragons. So just
or
just
potatoes,
throw that
but
out.
look, things change, you know.
Yeah,
It's
that's
a
right.
potato dragon, people.
It's a potato. That's
We've
Who's got
solved
grease?
the case.
yeah. I'm going to give you guys a +5 matcher of dragon slaying.
Mm.
Okay, but conversations. What are you guys doing?
Well, Delgrim and Miera, we sort of on the same page that us three do want to explore the ziggurat?
Yeah, 100%. We've been traveling here this whole time. It kind of seems a bit pointless to have come just to turn around and not actually get any answers. And I don't know, just from the conversation that we had with Dana, I feel like if we don't at least check it out, we're potentially leaving something that could be far more dangerous, if not fixed, than if we do something and check it out. That's my opinion. I just feel like we've traveled such a long way. It would be kind of pointless, and we did come here for a purpose, so.
Oh, I wholly agree. Because I'm of the opinion that that was the whole point of coming down here. Why would we stop now that we're down here? It doesn't really make a lot of sense to me.
Grumpfel tells us that a single bucket full of this crystal is enough to fulfill the reason we came here. But I think perhaps we can find more than we came here for.
I at least want to check it out. Like, I don't want to have the what if.
I think Delgrim will probably go up to Tiernan and just smooth out the creases of his clothing that were probably gripped into little bunches when Delgrim was shaking him excitedly, telling him just how much Delgrim wanted to go and check out the spirit of a dead dragon in a mysterious ziggurat, and just kind of smooth those out. Me too.
For height reference, how tall are you?
Smaller than Tiernan.
Smoothing out waist height.
Yeah. Don't make that awkward.
Yeah.
Let me get that crease for you.
Yeah. Oh, sure.
Oh.
That's not a crease.
Is that your gun in your pocket, or is she?
It's been a while.
It has been a while. Bless you guys. You're all great.
Well, okay. Well, at least we're all on the same. Us three are on the same page. Grumpfel appeared to have some concerns. Didn't he? Oh,
Yeah, I feel like he was a little bit worried.
I wasn't too sure why. I think he spoke. Well, he's right there. We can always go and ask him. But I understand he was concerned about God references or something.
His large cave.
Yeah.
I'm sure Grumpfel can hear our conversation, but this is also fine.
I can't.
I am not. I'm not a very religious person. My people, we are very self-sufficient. We don't think overly much about such things, but I respect the power of these beings, and Grumpfel, I feels very deeply about his connection with the god with which he has a relationship. As he said, our new friend mentioned many of these gods as though they knew them in the time when they were alive. This must surely be a shock to anyone with such deep belief.
Or they were just listing names to try and make us think that they were someone that they're not. And I don't know.
Well, it sounds like a lot of time has passed. Who knows if they were gods back then? Who knows how godhood is either obtained or whether or not they've just been here all this time.
In any case, I feel such an entity owing us a favor is not a bad thing. Also, spirit of 4,000-year-old dead dragon. This is incredible.
It'll make for a hell of a story. We could just, look, we don't have to go all the way in. We could just kind of peek in and see if we can see anything. And if it looks too dangerous and we know 100%, yeah, we're going to die.
Well, yeah, obviously we're going to be cautious.
Yeah, we could just go then, but at least we would have looked. Just a little peek.
I think Don has made clear that what lies in wait, the other piece of Esmeralda, whatever that might be, sounds like it presents a danger. I think caution is wise. But in order to be cautious and to know what we might walk into, what do you know of dragons? And I know very little. And Hamish, like historically, in terms of mythology, what does Delgrim know about dragons and myths that might surround them?
Yeah, great question. Feel free to roll a history check for me.
Fine, I will, and it'll be a 4.
That everybody?
Anyone who is wanting to potentially answer Delgrim's question, absolutely roll.
I will roll, but I feel like I would probably know more about, fairy tale, storybook type dragons. So I could probably, if I'm lucky, I could give you a lot of lore about,
Yep.
paper dragons or something.
Yeah.
Grumpfel's within earshot, but he's not listening to anything. Maybe.
Okay.
much.
No, appreciate that.
Maybe.
Oh, sorry.
Maybe.
18.
So 18 for Tiernan, Miera.
3.
Yeah.
Three.
No.
Cool. On point. Outstanding. So whatever you get Delgrim for.
Mm.
Look, for both Delgrim and Miera, like you know what a dragon is. You would have heard fairy tales about dragons. You saw dragon iconography in Harrow, but that would be the extent of it. They are a thing of myth and legend. You've never heard of anyone ever seeing one alive or any kind of concept like that. They could just be something that was made up to scare children, as far as you're aware. Tiernan, with an 18, you would have probably read in various combing through the libraries and the books of Cathar Baal references to myths about real dragons, but they would reference dragons from hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years ago.
Okay, so like references are, as in no one's
seen them since. So it was like, so it was like, there might have been, in the Wayfarer Plains, there's a story that, once someone, maybe saw, a green dragon far off in the distance, or there were legends which spoke of, a dragon that had attacked this town, but none of it was sort of verified. It was all very much sort of myth and rumor, and nothing that's referenced within the last 100 years easily.
Well,
hey, the fact that they have colors and what those colors might mean might be a really cool thing that if Tiernan knows to share with the group. Just saying.
would I know the colours? If they're that far off, probably not.
Look, one of the ones you would have heard about would have been blue. Yep.
Okay, Dragon Smurfs, got it.
Yep, the Smurf dragon,
Mhm.
the mightiest of all dragons.
Coming
Well,
from the Smurf.
Actually, John, make another history roll for me.
Dirty 20.
Sorry, what was that?
Dirty 20.
The dirtiest of 20s.
I thought he said 30-20. I'm like, dude, your maths is off.
Yeah, 30, 20.
I
Yep.
am so smart.
Tiernan just rolled 50. I'm like,
Ma.
okay. As you kind of ponder a little bit about this, you are aware that south of Canterwell, there are the lands known as Drakenstrad. And whilst there's no references of dragons from down there, it is well known that those lands are populated with drakes, which are very, very similar in nature, but in many respects are looked at as sort of like a lesser, sort of like the third cousin of dragons.
Mighty, but
Did
Sorry?
we see? Didn't that rude map maker that was like really harsh to Delgrim have a drake?
Yes,
when
he
we were
did.
trying to pat him.
Yep. So there is literally a nation down there, which is known for the drakes there.
well, okay.
Hashtag Lord Dump.
Well, I don't know if we're actually going to find a said dragon, Delgrim. But what do you propose we do with regarding the other two? They don't appear to be very keen on moving forward. Would you like to speak to Rowan, Delgrim, to see?
I will certainly try when Rowan has had some time and is willing to talk. But first, I think it's important if they do not wish to join us in approaching the ziggurat, they do not have to. They can stay in the cabin here. They can move back into the town. I will not put them in danger because of my wishful choices.
No, we've said repeatedly we're not making choices for everyone else, so everyone's able to make their own decisions.
How loud are you guys talking?
Oh, just
Tiernan
conversation
would have
volume.
been, trying to talk in a lower register just because,
Delgrim will not. He's
Yeah,
really stoked about this idea.
yeah. Okay, cool. So Rowan, you're probably, I would imagine well, did you go far enough away to not be able to hear kind of a normal conversation?
How big's the space I've got to walk away to? That's a better question, because that's...
I mean, man,
what I think I said was that I walked across to like the edge of where like the cliff off to the side was and plunked myself down on it, or like on a rock thereabouts. So
yeah,
that kind of depends on how far that is. More than anything.
probably
Theater of the mind, baby.
considering how big the space is and how well the noise would probably carry, you would definitively be able to hear Delgrim because it's got the tact of a brick to the face.
Also known as the Delgrim whisper.
Yeah. But there might be like other parts of the conversation might be harder to hear. So, I mean, if you're wanting to actively try and overhear what everyone's saying, you can make a perception check if you want, but that's entirely up to what Rowan's doing.
I think she has walked herself away because she knows that like she needs the space right now. This is she doesn't want to have a fight about this. It's a question of like, she has raised the point of like, she doesn't like the idea of something in their heads that is not known.
Yeah.
And so she is now like, she needs to sit down and like, not take stock, but like reprioritize.
Yeah. 100%. Cool.
Also, to the general audience, yes, I know I'm disappearing in part. There's something wonky going on with my green screen tonight. So if I have random patches of me that keep disappearing, I know.
Kate's totally leaning into just how Rowan will vanish sometimes. Like inspiration
for once, not on purpose. For once, not on purpose.
Full immersion.
Yeah,
I love it.
That's it.
So back to the rest of the party then, as your conversation continues. Sorry, I just wanted to check in with Rowan to see what she was going to be conscious of.
I think if we are careful, if we use our heads, Donna seemed to be... Keep in mind, I protected myself with protection from evil and good. I feel if Donna was either evil or some kind of, being that intended us harm, that there would have been some effect from that. And that doesn't seem to be. I feel no reason to not trust. Trust is not the right word. I do not feel as though they have been deceitful.
You want to take them at face value.
They had no face. It's difficult to take anything without the face at face value.
Stone value.
That was joke, Tiernan. You see, I try to learn.
Can I ask a question? Sorry, just to clarify. Did you cast that on using what type of creature for protection from evil and good?
It's not a specific creature.
For protection from evil and good, it absolutely is.
Is it? Nope.
Sorry,
types plural.
Okay. I thought it was just type, but that's all right. Might be wrong.
Could you do that again near the ziggurat and see if there's anything that like gives you a bad feeling in there? Like when we get get closer.
I'm confident enough to say we should all have bad feeling about going into ziggurat. I'm also confident there is some feeling of existence beyond death in this whole place. But that may just be what we have seen with Donna. Also, I'm feeling quite weary. There are limits to the things that I am capable of doing. I'm close to those limits. There is one skill I have been playing with. Something my people can do I have not yet tried. It may be useful in approaching sneakily. Donna has asked us to simply join them to me it sounds like their physical form, and the danger is what that physical form might do to us if we can do it and stay hidden and stay quiet and stealthy. That seemed like our best option. I think I have something that might help me with that. I don't know what else I can do for others.
Right. Well, Miera, do we want to go speak to Grumpfel while Delgrim has a word with Rowan?
Yep, can do that as long as he's finished communing. We should probably think about something to eat too. It's been a while since we've had something to eat. Maybe that would make everyone feel a little less cranky.
Or do we want to set up something for lunch or something?
Yeah. I think that might be a good idea.
Okay. So I guess we start setting up a campsite, or
Yeah, like a fire so we can cook something. I'll have a rummage in my bag and see what food I've got.
Okay. All right. So you
yeah, sorry, go.
I was going to say, all right. So yeah, so you two start sort of going about setting up a small fire amongst the stones and dirt on the floor of this massive underground cabin. Whilst you two are doing that, Grumpfel, is there anything in particular that you're wanting to do whilst sort of all of this is also going on?
I think that he just moved off away to sit and collect his thoughts and possibly even like not meditate, but try and sort of just clear his way through a tangled web of thoughts, not reaching out to any sort of divinity for inspiration, but just trying to take stock of where they are, what they're doing, and the fact that they they have an idea of what they would like to do, but the in-between part is the fun part, and we Grumpfel pretty much surmises that we're flailing in the dark a little in the sense of how we're getting from A to B. We know there's a B, we know we want to get there, we know we want to do things, but the direct A to B wasn't quite as direct as what we thought it was going to be.
Yep.
So he's just trying to sort of figure out. I mean, there was discussion last time about a decision of parting ways. He decided not to, so he's kind of reflecting on that. He's still happy and stands by the decision he's made, but he's reflecting on that as well as other revelations, particularly about Kamateon and some of the other deities.
Yep. Cool. Okay. So the campfire is getting set up. Delgrim or Rowan, in fact, either of you two. Or Delgrim, are you heading over to Rowan, or are you still giving her space?
I think after a suitable space-giving amount of time, Delgrim would head over if Rowan doesn't make their way back to us.
She sort of acknowledged, like she sort of looks over and sort of sees that you guys are setting up, but at the moment she's not making an active. She's not trying to stay away from the outside of you guys setting up, but she's just not really moved from where she is. I'd say she throws rocks down into the chasm, but she doesn't because but it's that energy of like sitting there like you're going to toss rocks, but given what we've seen down the chasm, not going to do that.
Be peppin'.
Yeah.
Don't disturb the water.
In which case, then Delgrim will head over. And Rowan's sitting, you said, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Delgrim will take a seat next to Rowan and just kind of pull out of a pouch the single sparkle cookie that he has in his possession and offer it to Rowan.
You keep it. It's a gift from Miera. You keep it. It's not a dismissal. It's just that's good. Like, you keep it. It's yours.
He'll break it in half and hand half to Rowan and start munching on the other half.
She'll take it and eat it, I guess.
be a little bit stale at this point in time, but
Yeah.
it's
That's why
still,
I'm like, I guess is there more because it's
plus
Oh.
also Delgrim had been swimming in that water, so it might, I don't know, it depends on how he would have done his
Yeah,
stuff beforehand.
stale, but soft enough that you don't notice anymore.
Mm,
I'm just gonna roll a d20 and see how good it tastes.
yeah.
That's a 2. Not great.
Oh no!
It was soggy.
pocket biscuits.
Yeah.
It had lost
Yeah.
its deliciousness.
I rolled a 4. I want to mirror you spit yours out if you don't tell her I spit mine out. I just kind of toss it away.
Just dust it next to us on the seat.
Somewhere in the background, single tear rolls down.
Oh.
She can feel
It's
it.
like
on
she
the
senses
inside.
something inside.
Why are they
She
over
sits
there
the stabbers in
spitting?
the balls.
The sparkle, it has been spurned.
Oh
Delgrim,
no,
I
the glitter is
think-
on the ground. It will never be removed.
Delgrim, I think, will say, you told me once the reason you approached me in Greenfield was because Riverview was boring. That there was something bad that happened to you could not fix there. I cannot promise that this is going to change that at all. But I do believe this entity that we have encountered may be a good shot at helping us to learn about many things.
There's a difference between learning about things and making a deal with something you can't see.
There is no deal. I have promised not to leave it in the dark. I can do that by returning outside. If there is to be any deal, we are the beneficiaries of such deal. If we restore this Esmeralda to itself.
But how do you know that restoring something that claims to be as potentially powerful as you're saying isn't going to backfire? Why would we go in to near the thing that that Dana says itself is dangerous or could be to us? You're making a deal with something you can't see by agreeing to trust it. May not be a deal like the one you made with the invisible thing back near Greenfield, but it seems like a deal to me.
It's the same deal I made with you. I chose to trust you. I have seen you. You certainly have potential for danger. It's a choice we make every day. It is no choice you must make if you want to avoid this kind of danger, this kind of situation, then that is your right to do so and not force you to do otherwise.
She's gonna take her eyes off of the, like, I guess kind of the ziggurat in front of her, and turn towards you and just say, you don't know how I can do the things I can do you?
No.
Sometimes it's not worth trusting the voice you can't see.
It's maybe true. It does not mean it's true for this situation.
So just because you've never experienced trusting a voice you can't see and having that experience and knowing what that's like and living with it every single day, you're willing to make that choice. I'm not willing to risk myself or all of you for something that I can't see.
It's not your choice if we risk ourselves. This is unfair expectation for you to think that is your choice to make.
I guess what I mean is I don't think any of you have thought about the fact that you're making an agreement with something you can't see, right? something that you trust just because it got into your head.
That is not why I wish to go into that building. It's not why I interested to see what this creature restored might be. Because the voice in my head is not why. This kind of experience is why I am here in your upper world. I could stay below in sad, miserable life with survivors of my own home. I chose not to do that. That choice was risk. Was it not? This world is strange and unknown to me. Every inch of it. I chose to take that risk. The sky that you have above you your entire life is terrifying to me. And every day I walk with you all under that sky despite the fear, the risk. Risk is part of life. Always has and always will be. This is a deviation. Something that to me deserves knowing.
So I just want to be clear. You're willing, knowing that something that already was able to get into your head and has told us that it is potentially incredibly dangerous. And when I say potentially, it basically said there was danger waiting for us inside. You are willing to risk not just your life, but my life and my life and Miera's life and Tiernan's life. You're willing to undertake actions that could, by reuniting Dana with whatever we find in there, you're willing to risk all of us for that. You're willing to risk outside of this place for that. I'm just being clear that that's what you're willing to risk.
The worst case scenario. I'm confident if such a scenario unfolds that I will commit myself to restoring whatever dangers may arise. It may be. We already know of many such dangers. And
She's
again,
gonna
is something that, to me, deserves knowing.
She's going to pull the rock that she carries in her pocket out of her pocket and put it down between the two of them on the surface of the cliff. I have been warned that going in there is a risk by not just you, not just the voice in the head, but by something that I regret making a deal with a long time ago. And that's when she takes her hand off of the rock. I'm not saying I won't go in, but I don't think you understand what you're all messing with. I really don't. I really think that there's a difference between coming to this place to organize for stone and gems, the things that we said we'd come here for, right? That's what you all told my dad. That's why we were that's what we were looking for, is to save Greenfields, right? And now you're talking about going in to that building and potentially risking our lives.
Exciting.
You told my dad that you'd keep me safe. And how exactly are you doing that right now?
I told him truth. I do everything in my power to keep you safe. You do not have to follow. And I will do everything in my power to keep you safe if there is any danger presented.
Easiest thing in your power is not to go in at all. And she's going to stand up. She's actually going to move across to where Grumpfel is sitting.
Okay.
Dog will just mutter.
She has left the rock where it is.
Yeah.
By the way.
Oh, okay. In which case, And where was the rock taken from?
It wasn't. It's the first time you've seen it.
Yeah, so it was just in her hand. She's placed it.
It was in her pocket, pulled out of her pocket, put on the.
Yeah, so
It
Was
does
it
not look
of-
like the
was
rest
it-
of the rock in this place.
was it? Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. All right.
Ooh, that's a risk.
Yeah. Speaking of risks.
He fished into the chasm.
Oh, yeah. Delgrim's upset. Just boots the rock. No. No, he's gonna leave it there. I'm gonna wander over to where Can't Speak set up.
Cool. Okay.
Any luck, Delgrim?
We shall see.
Okay. Well, no one's going to force her. If she wishes to stay, she can stay.
It'll sound like boring Riverview talk to me, so.
So, Rowan, you make your way over to where a Grumpfel is also sitting off to the side quietly by himself.
She's not going to interrupt. She's just going to sit down next to him because if he's doing stuff, she knows better than to interrupt people's focus in that way.
When you come over, you just within how close to Grumpfel do you get? Within 3 feet.
If I said like if you were all sitting around a campfire, like the next log over, if that makes sense as like a distance reference point.
Yeah. So like 3-4 feet, sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In D&D terms, in the next square, but like not like.
That's right. So,
Are you
so
within
you're-
melee range? Is this what we're trying to ascertain here?
Yes,
Okay,
let's
cool.
say
Fine.
yes. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
That's right. You just hear Grumpfel. It sounds like he's humming, but it doesn't sound like a tune.
I've got a very important question at this point in time. Is Miera the party like chef? Would you have taken over? Like, would you be the one who cooks a lot? I know Grumpfel is the one who does all the coffee in the morning, but are you the one who makes the meals, or do we take it all in turns?
Ranger's right here, guy. Jeez.
I'm going to say yeah, probably.
Wow.
I'd fix things as well.
I just got this image of Delgrim and Miera having a Gordon Ramsay off when it comes to cooking. This chicken is raw.
Delgrim makes functional meals. Miera makes nice meals.
Tiernan tries to help, but him actively helping is hindrance.
A handful of berries does not a meal make.
Yeah.
Nice meals. You might see some interesting colors after you consume them as well.
And you'll enjoy every minute of it.
Wow. Okay, so yes, it sounds like Miera is the person who does most of the cooking.
Or Tiernan tries to help.
Okay.
And just slap your hand away.
Hey, at least I can fetch water.
You can fetch some water. That would be very helpful. Thank you.
Wait, is it down that cliff face?
Yeah, that filthy, dirty, terrible, terrible water that Delgrim was.
Gross.
Yeah, no, it
We
was.
could probably use bottled water. You can start the fire. That would be helpful.
Oh, that'd be easy.
The manual labor's all yours.
Yeah, he basically blows up the fire.
Sure, we've got water canteens.
Right. So whilst you two are seeing just how much of a terrible job you can do at preparing a meal together, Rowan, you had sat down nearby to Grumpfel, and you could hear this strange sort of humming that he was making.
She's not interrupting because she assumes that that's got something to do with like his convening with whatever gods, because he mentioned moments before about gods, so she's assuming that he's doing something that she doesn't understand, which is fine, and is just not, I want to say waiting until he's done. It's not quite as expectant as that, but that's functionally what she's doing.
Yep. Yeah. It's not like she's sitting there checking her watch every 5 minutes.
No, it's the like the just sort of calm. I'll wait.
Yep. Cool. Okay.
Yeah, his eyes are closed, but like he hears you, and he kind of puts his hand out, does that sort of matrix, and then taps the like the little rock or something next to him or something like that.
She'll join you. She'll follow. That instruction, essentially.
So he sort of, there's a bit more of that sub vocalization, and then it comes to a finish, and he sort of opens his eyes, he looks, he goes, "How are you, my dear?"
I don't know. I don't know. I fancy going up against a god. Don't know about you.
One dreams of meeting one's deity, but given who we are and what we are right now, it seems more than daunting. It seems reckless, and I do want to explore this area. This crystal is like that of my home city, and that is curious enough to make me want to stay. But would it be enough to make me stay? I know not. I mean, there's no lie. This is a fortune of Tyrolite here, and that both excites and terrifies me.
Why does it terrify you?
When we found our home, Svazina, we call it, we built it upon the abandoned ruin of a dwarven city. We found Tyrolite. We found notations about Tyrolite, and we found that what they were trying to do with the Tyrolite, they couldn't. And our gnome artisans discovered the secret, and we rebuff those who would want the Tyrolite for nefarious purposes. Deep Cove yearns for Tyrolite by the wagon load, and we will not trade with them in that. The other thing that terrifies us is why this dwarven city was abandoned. Now, given we are now sitting upon a rather large amount of Tyrolite, what was with us is no longer there. Where did it go? What is here? And what would happen should those nefarious parties who want Tyrolite find this place? And then that's not even scratching the surface of talk of disembodied dragon voices and gods that walk as mortals some millennia ago. Were I a gnome half my age, I would welcome the adventure. I still welcome adventure, but 40 years of walking this land and trading and seeing, it makes you appreciate things, and you heed reason a lot more. I for a long time, for the first time in a long time, I am not sure what I want to do right now. I would like us to close this place over and forget it existed. I would like to tell my elders about it and expand and use, and I don't know. I have a head full of confusion. It's most distressing. And the last thing I want is my friends, my traveling family, to have animosity against with each other. I understand the younger of our the younger of our group wanting to explore and to touch the sky. But sometimes we need to step slowly, step with small pace, appreciate what's around us. And I can't teach that with words to everyone. I can only remember what I've seen, tell what I've seen, and hopefully people will come to their own decisions and conclusions that then defines their path.
Rowan's just gonna like lean sideways and put her head on his shoulder, just in a like that acknowledgement of agreement and of, I don't want to say comradeship because that comes with a bunch of other implications of that phrase, but that like mateship thing.
That being said, I'm sure whatever we do, we will do it together and be there for each other. Don't reach out. Thanks, Promethean.
I mean, also, I'm just going to point out that I am probably one of the youngest members of the party who you just said, all the young people. And I'm like,
Yeah. Which to me, like, reads like he's not actually talking to you, he's talking to himself, and you just happen to be there. And it made me so happy on the inside because it's the perfect old man thing to do.
Yeah, but younger can also mean maturity rather than
I know
span of life,
and that's why, like, I know it's just funny because I'm just sitting there like,
yeah, you both keep digging your own graves. That's fine.
I'll come over there and mess you up, young man.
Rowan's gonna like look up at the ziggurat, like still with her head on your shoulder, and just go, do you think they've thought about what could be inside, or do you think they're just following a voice?
I think they have thought of it. I think that the decisions come based on experience and what one's feeling at the moment. I think thought processes have occurred for everyone staring up at that great stone thing, and everyone's looked at it, and there's been multiple thought processes. And I think some of us want to get there and have a look. Some of us want to get there quicker than others. Some of us want to be wary and take our time to make sure how we get there and that we get there in one piece to explore. Now, that may be today, that may be coming back in a week, that may be coming back in a month. But I think everyone has looked at that thing and thought about what is there. And I think we're at the moment of deciding not only how we get there, but when we get there. And I think everyone has a different when.
I'm just worried that their ears are closed other than to the voice in their heads.
Yes. I would truly like for us to go there, explore, and find wondrous things. Now, I'm not talking about treasure. I'm talking about truths and discovery. But I'm just, this voice, these two voices, how genuine are they? I do not know. But mine is one voice, and I dare say we will all have to decide what we do.
Hmm.
And now I feel the irresistible urge to stretch.
Yeah.
Just that one, mate.
Grumpfel's old. If he doesn't stretch now, he'll
Yeah.
just
Oh,
leave
I mean, my neck.
yeah.
I think
No
they just
doubt.
sort of fall into silence next to each other. Head on
He'll
shoulder.
give you sort of that pat on the shoulder type thing.
As you fall into silence, you can hear behind you the crackling of the fire, and probably in slightly hushed voices, Miera and Tiernan having a small argument over how much spice should potentially be used in whatever meal that's being cooked.
Well, Tiernan at this stage would be attempting to try to make coffee and probably failing miserably.
Attempting.
Yeah,
Grumpfel wants enough spice to make his eyes blue and to fold space.
yeah. Look, I'm sure we can arrange something. So,
Father, the sleeper has woken. Sorry, what?
with your small camp set up, discussions had, you guys settle in for a small break. What are your intentions moving forward from here? So contextually, from a mechanical point of view, if you were wishing to take a long rest, it's probably still like another 10 or 12 hours before you can.
Jesus.
Just teeth.
So basically-
I honestly think your math is wrong.
Can we check that? Because I feel like it was only like 5 or 6 hours the last time we streamed.
Yeah.
If someone can go back and have a look, I'm also willing to bow to what you guys say. Sure,
Well,
another 6 hours.
Can we work out what's happened in the day? Because that would probably
Everyone in
dictate-
chat vote. It's
So the day,
time
so the
for
day
a
was
long
you.
rest.
The day was you going into the mines. You travelled for probably about 3 or 4 hours going through those. You had a short rest in there, didn't you?
Yep.
So that would be about 5 hours. You probably spent, we'll say, maybe 3 or so hours down here. So that's still only eight hours.
Yeah, because we had the camp beside the gondola thing.
Yep, but that was like, remember, you guys had camped there, gone to the tower. That's true. So we'll add another couple of hours to that. So probably about 10. You've been going for probably about 10 hours.
There was
So
2
yeah,
hours
like
of
about 5 or 6. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
there was 2 hours of morning dog.
So yeah, 5 or 6 hours roughly, give or take. I mean, there's still a decent chunk of time just sort of sitting around before being able to have the rest.
Go to sleep now. The time will pass.
Time will go
faster.
faster.
Yeah. I
So,
can help
like,
people
it's-
with that if they can't get to sleep.
So is the group's intention now to basically just aim for a long rest? Is probably the target question.
It would be my preference because at this point, if something was to happen and we progress any further, I'm going to be completely tapped.
Yeah, it looks like we last long rested in the tower. We've had
Yeah.
like a whole bunch of fights and exploring since
I
then.
thought we only
Yeah.
had a short rest in the tower. Because
No,
we had the fort.
No, we had a long rest in
Tower
the
was a
tower.
long rest. We did a short rest, I think, outside the cave
Yep.
or just after we entered. One of
Yeah.
those.
Yeah, just
I
after
thought we did the
entered,
long
did
rest
the
on the
short-
side beside the gondola, not the
Yeah. Yeah, like when we got to the top of where the gondola was on the edge,
Yeah.
we long rested there. Because we went to go further in
We've
and
still
someone
got
had
at
already
least
set
like
up.
4 or 5 hours.
Yeah.
is the
Yeah.
point.
There's still a good chunk of time. So basically, you guys would be killing like 5 or 6 hours easy of kind of sitting around before having to rest.
I
Let's
don't
call
know.
it 3.
Sorry, you're right. It was a long rest before we approached the tower.
Oh.
Sorry, it's just
Either way,
Doesn't matter.
meta wise, sure. Non meta wise, I don't really care.
I think Rowan is like, you can tell she's trying to make up her mind about something. Like this is what you would see, so it's not like, and you guys know her, I guess, well enough to know when she's in thought. She has not gone back over to where she was sitting before, so that weird rock is still sitting over there. If anyone ends up over there, did we leave the bashed up hand on the ground? Because I feel like we did.
No, I kicked it into the
Yeah, you
chasm.
did.
into the
That
abyss.
sounds like something Meera would do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am wearing the ring though.
So is it a long rest, or what do you guys want to do? But we have to.
Well, I
bomb
mean
around
that
for
like
5
that's the sort of
hours.
like I'm trying to give like I. Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is that we're going to have a long rest. During that period of time, Rowan is obviously contemplating what her plans are going to be, taking on board the conversation. So there's more opportunities for people here to discuss things before you'd actually be getting to the stage of actually needing to, for those of you who need to, actually sleep.
Yeah, I love that for Rowan too. It's not even like, oh, I could just have a little nap and
Nah.
reset.
Yeah.
Wait, are you
He's got all
incapable
night
of
to think
sleep, or is it
about
a choice?
No,
thing?
I can choose to sleep.
Yeah. Okay.
But given we've had voices in our heads, she's not choosing to. My question is, has Tiernan told Dana she can come back?
Tiernan's not the talking.
Sorry, has Delgrim told
No,
Dana she can come back?
no. Delgrim is assuming that their respective perceptions of time are very different, and that they can basically take as long as they want. That may be an incorrect assumption, but one way or the other.
Oh, I was more curious about
That's the
whether
choice he's made.
Delgrim thought he'd need he should. It was less about how long. It was more, did he feel like he should?
No, not yet.
But-
Okay.
So
so
the only other convo I think Delgrim's keen to have is with Grumpfel. But I think it would be approaching Grumpfel and just sort of check it in to see if he's ready for a chat, I think, as to whether that happens before or after.
I'm all out of wisdom. You should have been listening before.
That sounds like you're not ready for a chat. Wait until after. That's fine.
No, it's all good.
Grumpfel, it occurred to me, you mentioned that only your people are capable of refining the Terrorlight in this place. I feel like we can perhaps achieve multiple goals with what we have discovered here. On the one hand, you can take the existence of this place to your clan leader, was it? Who turns 150?
Correct.
This can be the gift. This place in and of itself is useless to Greenfield without people who know how to work this material. Yes?
Yes. When we established Svezina, I was but a boy, effectively. There was no one there. The dwarves that had built the existing city were not there. It was devoid of the original inhabitants, and we built upon it and made it our own, and we found notes about Terrorlight and their failures in trying to do something, and our artisans worked it out and made it work. So yes, we can use these crystals to make it. But the thing is, Svezina was abandoned. Why, we don't know. But this place doesn't feel like it's abandoned. So yes, I could go and tell the clan elder about it, but it's not mine to gift to them. It's not ours to claim and work.
Well, technically, neither was abandoned dwarven stronghold. You don't know if there are plans for those dwarves to return at any time. That could easily be the case. Yes?
I'm pretty sure it was abandoned for, help me out here, Haim, at least 100 years?
at least.
At least 100 years.
And
It had been abandoned for over 100 years. That's a long time to go out for a fishing trip, to use a human term.
a new friend that I fished out of river has been buried down there for 4,000 years. It's much longer time. I not see the issue.
Exactly. But they are still here.
Indeed, and they will owe us favor if we restore them to themselves.
If they are here and they are still here, who else is here and are they still here? And who is here do they own? Do they claim?
well, I'm sure they'll see reason that, time passes and empires fall. We can have that conversation.
If who is here makes no claim, and it is open for whoever to explore and utilize, then that is something we can investigate when it arises. But we need to make sure that those that are here are friendly. And if those that are not here, then that is that possibility.
So far, I've only felt the dead here. The dead want nothing. The dead need nothing. We owe the dead nothing.
Well,
if this place is claimed only by the dead, then perhaps your people can make use of it to help Greenfield. We help Greenfield, as we have said. You can offer, whether it's chosen to be accepted as gift or not. That is up to you and your clan.
If there is no one here and it is not in use and it is available for use, then I have no issue with going to the clan elder and saying not only look what we found, but look what we now have.
If nothing else, surely just knowledge of existence of this place is of interest to your people then.
Oh, absolutely. That I will take that knowledge to the clan elder when next I'm on my way home find myself with my feet at the gates. Oh, the gates. Delgrim, you should see the gates of Svecina.
I intend to, my friend.
Great, colossal Greystone that we have worked. Red and brown. The banding work of the iron. I long to see my home again, but I find myself here with you and the others. I'm happy.
I will see your gates, and I'm sure we'll walk through them together at some point.
My friend, that would please me greatly.
But now I see you struggle with issues of personal nature, something I suggest up to you if you take on board. I would wonder if I was in your position, what the power that you have such reverence for, whether they might be thankful in some way of having discovered whatever it is that we have or about to discover from a time in their history. That seemed to me to be a strange thing to be able to offer a deity to which you give your own reference, is to potentially offer them something. And I'm sure such opportunities do not come often.
It is if indeed it is an opportunity, then it is a marvel that I am sure that very few even get to contemplate. But at the same time, I'm apprehensive to to meet one's God and to stare at their face and to behold and to converse with an otherworldly being is almost incomprehensible. I mean, what would one say to a god? Hello, want coffee? Okay, I probably would, but it's like what would you say? What would you say?
If it's me, very little. I have no need or use of such beings except in some rare circumstances. I have some questions such a being might be able to answer, perhaps, but as I cannot expect any of my friends to be able to answer such challenges for me, nor do I expect such entities as these. But for me, importantly, Grumpfel, this is a dragon. Are you not even even small bit excited.
Truthfully, a gnome of my age, I still have the heart of the lad that I was when I first made my own way in life. A dragon is a wondrous thing to want to see. But with all things, we have to be careful. We have to be careful.
Grumpfel, surely you have learned at this stage, careful is my fourth name.
Well, your fourth name is what has kept me alive for 80-something years.
That's good. I'll leave you with that. You let me know when we finished our relaxation here, how you feel.
Yes. I think I might make my way over to the fire. I can smell coffee beans being tortured, and I must rescue them.
Yeah, there's that really kind of terrible sort of smell of burnt coffee bean. Yeah.
Alchemist is not Tiernan sing.
Yeah. You leave that stuff to your
Makes
sister,
me
I believe.
sad.
Yeah, it's like, oh no.
Grumpfel gets up and sort of just pats Rowan on the shoulder and pats Delgrim on the shoulder, comes over and just kind of pats Tiernan on the head and says, "I'll have a look."
Hang on the head.
I thought you were down in front of the fire.
Well,
Are
that's
you
fair
standing
enough.
up?
He probably would be.
Yeah. And let's have a look at this here. And he'll literally fling it over his shoulder and then start unpacking his coffee.
So
Well,
I was going to
I
ask
told
for
you
some
you were doing
pointers,
it
but
wrong.
Oh,
Well,
whoops,
you're
I seem
welcome
to
to
have
take
spilled
over,
that.
Miera.
No.
So as you all go about settling in for a long rest, making yourselves comfortable in this massive space with the sound of the waterfall thundering nearby and the strange ziggurat way off in the distance, are you going to be setting up watches during the night, or are you just going to have Rowan, who does not require actual sleep, just taking all of the watches? How are you going to approach that?
Well, Tiernan will set up his usual alarm spell because it's just something he does.
Yep, that's cool. But are you going to set up individuals, or are you just going to sleep while Rowan watches? If that's what Rowan wants to do, of course. How do you guys want to handle it?
Especially under the circumstances, that would be so cruel. I think
Yeah.
Delgrim will offer his usual first and last watch, and whatever the others can do in between. It's fine.
Yeah, Tiernan doesn't mind going on watch.
I'm happy to do a watch. Can I ask a very important question?
Sure.
With the fire,
Yep.
what's the shadow puppet situation like in the cave?
The shadow puppet situation.
Yeah, like can we make like giant shadow puppets?
Great
The,
idea.
like the walls are too far away. Like you are in the middle of this massive, enormous space. Like the closest sort of surface is where like the waterfall is. So yeah.
Disappointing.
You'll need to take the torch over there. Here you go, Miera.
Yeah. Look.
Look, it's a bunny rabbit.
So you
Also,
are.
don't you have dancing lights? Can't you just like make your own puppet show wherever?
Well, that's just
True.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, true.
That's
Hello,
something that you can do
hello,
from now on while you're walking.
But I like the novelty of the natural ones.
Wow. Okay, cool. Excellent. So you all settle in for your long rest, going about respective activities to kill the time, whatever those may be. Delgrim, taking the first watch, and this is probably about sort of 6 or 7 hours later. The rest of the group, bar Rowan, would have set up bedrolls and be currently trying to get some rest. Delgrim, you hear Dana's voice in your head.
Patient, bloody, yeah.
I don't want to pry, but I haven't been listening, like you asked, but I don't want to be left alone again. I don't. May I come back now? You haven't left. I don't think you've left, have you? I can feel you close by. I can feel your friends close by.
We have not left. And as I swore to you, you remain with me and will remain with me. I shall not leave you alone, especially not in this place. For now, my companions, as I say, require some time. I'm committed to restoring you, as I have said. It would be wise, not wise perhaps, it would be good for the outcome to have the help of my friends. But some of them are wary. Some of them are worried of the danger that you have laid before us.
I'm just trying to be open and honest about what might lie before you, what we might do, what I might do. When you find us.
That honesty is appreciated. But for those such as us, these things can be difficult to face.
I understand. Do you know these people well? Are they lifelong friends? Are they new companions? Are they just associates?
I know them well enough to hope that they become lifelong friends. And I would like those lives to be long. So I do not wish to put them in a position that will cut short those lives.
Should we talk to them? Should I talk to them? Can I talk to them? Should I talk to them? Who is it that's scared?
I think we all hold fear in our hearts in some way. And I do not think it is wise for you to speak to those of my companions who do not approach you first, perhaps. Wait a short time while we rest. Those of us who are prepared to enter will do so once we are rested and ready to face the dangers you have advised us of. We will, as you say, try and take advantage of Esma's mind being weak and restore you to yourself.
Thank you. I realize that maybe this is a lot for us to ask. But it's been so long. And I don't want to be left as just me. I need the we to be whole.
Do you fear?
Kate.
Donna.
Sorry.
That's on you, buddy.
We.
It was more specifically, I need the we as opposed to.
Yeah.
I need the we to be whole.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
It was the framing, not just the we.
Yeah. All right.
It's
Giant
okay,
dragon
okay.
comes and eats you all. Screw you guys.
Donna, do you fear?
Sorry, I missed that.
Donna, do you fear what facing you and the challenge of restoring you to yourself?
I fear that your friends may not be strong enough to help me. And in that fear, if you were to all fall, I would feel bad, but I would also be lost again.
And alone. So, in the interest of being open and honest, Donna, tell me, is realistic outcome of myself and my companions making this attempt to actually restore you, or is realistic outcome that you are once again alone?
I do not know. I do not know what you and your friends are capable of.
I believe we are capable of great things, but that is my belief.
And belief is sometimes the most important factor of all. I can feel Esma as we've gotten closer. I can feel the connection more. I can understand what the other half needs. I seek peace. Esma seeks vengeance.
Vengeance for what? Vengeance on the 5 knights, perhaps.
Vengeance on the knights. Vengeance on the people who destroyed our lands. I just seek peace and knowledge.
Do you think Esma would seek this vengeance even if you are not restored?
I fear without being restored, Esma is trapped. If you leave, Esma and I will be left down here. Maybe forever, maybe until more people stumble across us.
If I leave and take you with me, and only you will not be alone, but you will not be restored. You will not be in the dark any longer.
I fear that if you take me from here, the closer I go to Esma, the more I feel myself. The further away I travel, I don't know what will happen. Maybe I will be able to travel beyond these caverns. But I wish to be whole.
I know this wish. I have felt, I'm sure, very, very differently, a similar way. Having felt something was taken from me. So I know what it is to wish to feel whole. And I will, as I say, do what I can to help you become so.
And for that, I would be eternally grateful. I cannot promise you riches or wealth, but maybe once I am myself again, it will be knowledge that can be the biggest reward I can bequeath to you and your friends. Already I can sense amongst some of them that there is turmoil. One in particular I can see is often troubled by dark dreams.
And what do you know of these dark dreams?
It is hard for me to focus without the rest of myself. But there is turmoil, there is confusion, and I fear there might be something else.
These things, I feel, are common to those such as us. Fear, turmoil, confusion. These are things we face every day, each of us.
there is something more with this one. There is a deeper connection, but I cannot, it is too hard for me to focus. I need me.
Well, until we are rested, perhaps you two need for now to rest. I will call you when my friends are once again prepared for your presence. This one know that you say is disturbed by dark dreams. Do you know which of my companions this is?
I believe she is called Miera.
This is interesting. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate what you're trying to do for me here. And if you succeed, I will be grateful for the rest of my existence.
I
And
think
that
yeah.
the presence just sort of leaves your mind.
Is Rowan up and about at this stage, Kate?
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, she's not choosing to go to sleep, so she's very much still awake.
Okay.
She still has not returned to where her...
What's she actually doing, though, when this conversation is playing out, do we think?
Well, before I finish that thought, I'm just going to acknowledge, hello, welcome in, Raiders. Hi.
Yeah, hi.
We're in the middle of some, like, real heavy RP, which is why we were like, we're going to ignore you. We love you. Thank you so much for coming in.
Yes,
We
thank you guys.
appreciate
All...
Oh my gosh, Rob, how dare you be so kind and wonderful. But yes, that's why we were sort of ignoring you in the chat. She is likely to be, sorry, just to snap straight back into game. She's sitting by herself. Let's say thumbing through. She's got a book, like a big book that she's sort of sitting thumbing through. It doesn't look particularly hugely written in, but she's sort of seems to like flick to different pages, seemingly at random, but there's stuff only on the pages that she's flicking to.
As soon as that voice had started in Delgrim's head, his attention would have snapped over to Rowan immediately. He had arranged for Rowan to not be intruded, and the rest of the party to not be intruded upon by that voice, and that was not respected. And he'd be looking for any indication as to whether or not Rowan was hearing that voice at that time as well. No. Wow, I guess. Okay.
I mean, you wouldn't see anything because my assumption, as I think Ham has just intimated, is that I wasn't.
Yeah, no, there's so no, definitely, Rowan, you did not hear anything. No.
Yeah.
And I assume there would have been like a visceral reaction had Rowan heard something as well. Okay. I think after that...
you watched her viscerally stiffen earlier when the voice started in her head. So yeah. And she stopped talking. So.
In which case, I think at that point, Delgrim will wander over to where the rock was left if it hasn't been retrieved. Rowan's...
It has not been retrieved.
Okay.
It's still sitting there.
Delgrim at this point then will head over.
No, it's not sitting there.
Oh.
She hasn't retrieved it. You haven't seen her go over there.
And it's not there?
It's not there.
Okay. Delgrim will sit down real quick next to Rowan. Actually, he'll squat. Like, he's just going to make it clear he's not, like, trying to get into another big conversation, right? So it's just like a little temporary
closes
hangout. First, your rock appears to be gone. I don't think I kicked it off into chasm of darkness, but it is possible. If so, I'm very sorry.
Hey, Ham.
Yep.
Is it in my pocket?
Yep.
She's gonna pull it out and just like throw it up and down in the air, like. Except,
pulls it out of the pocket and goes, ta-da! Is this your card?
Yeah. And Delgrim would have been keeping rough eye on Rowan over the course of their little stay.
Yeah. She never went over there. Not once.
Yeah. That is very interesting trick or very interesting rock.
It's not a trick. So.
It's interesting rock. You'll have to tell me how this is achieved sometime.
Sometimes the deals we make follow us around.
This is deal you mentioned you're uncomfortable with. But
Sometimes
wait, no,
you
I
can't.
digress. I wanted you to know. I felt you deserved to know. Donna spoke to me just now.
Visibly, she stiffens.
Did you hear Donna
No.
when they spoke? Okay. They gave me no indication that is interesting. When they spoke before, we all heard voice, yes? Once we could all hear a voice, it seemed they can, in fact, choose who hears voice and who does not.
What did she want?
Want to
It
no longer
want.
be alone is much same as previous conversation. They do not want to be alone. They wish to be restored so they can be more themselves. They are a bit more aware of themselves and of the other.
And of the other?
It is much as I previously thought they could be problem. I think we would much prefer Dana to gain control of this being as a fully fledged entity rather than the other, who might wish for a vengeance of the loss of their empire so many years ago.
Vengeance they're seeking. Right. And they're safe now. Locked away. And you still want to go in and you still want to reunite them. Is that it?
My curiosity is not yet sated, so yes, I very much would like to.
Yes, I feel like the idiom for my father of curiosity and it killing the cat might come into play here.
Curiosity kills many things. But
That's not necessarily as hopeful or helpful as you think it is, Delgrim.
every day is hopeful for me, Rowan. I felt you deserve to know. And Delgrim will head back to his watch spot or wake up whoever's next.
Cool.
Yeah,
Yep.
just before, because I know what we're about to do. She's gonna stop as he walks away, stop tossing the rock,
Yeah.
and just squeeze it, like seeking something from it.
What?
Anything. Because it's back, and she left it, and it's back.
What are you seeking? What's Rowan thinking about right now?
She's thinking about the fact that she still thinks this is a terrible idea, and like she's not communing in the way that a cleric does, or the way that Grumpfel does, but just like what am I supposed to do here moment for her, because she's still risk averse, but she's getting the idea that the others are not so. And there's not a whole lot that she's going to be able to do. But she cares about them, so she doesn't want to go anywhere.
Or there is a break, and we'll find out what response we get from the rock
Yeah, good
after that.
Yep. Cool. I'll take that. That gives Ham time to think about it.
Heckin' stolen tactics.
Yeah. Hey, all of those raiders who have come along and have still hanging out with us, thanks so much for chilling out with
Hey,
us.
loves.
Yeah, awesome.
I
We-
don't know if chilling is where any of these conversations is going.
No,
but-
it's a bit.
Yeah, you've hit like the heaviest of our episodes
Yeah,
to date,
a lot of-
I think.
Yeah.
And the only chilling is up and down the spine.
Yeah. All right, we'll be back in 5 or 10 minutes. We're going to hydrate, do all the other things that we need to do in this break time,
Dehydrate.
and we'll return and find out. What does the rock say? It's the sequel to
What does the rock say?
Say.
No, just for
Does-
the love of God's
I thought-
sake, let's kill the stream now.
I thought the rock just went like. That's only phase.
Oh my
Keep
god.
calm,
I'm
keep
trying
calm,
to
carry
think
on,
of-
have fun, good luck.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what
Hey,
gurgling yogurt
No,
sounds
stop.
like.
No. Hi everyone. Welcome back. I guess we're back. You're back.
Whoa.
We're all back.
That's him.
Hey, look, as I always say, thank you so much for choosing to spend your time with us. Like, time is the most valuable thing everybody has, and you're choosing to spend that with us. So thank you. You're awesome. We appreciate you. So where we left off, Rowan was examining her rock to see if it would provide her any insight into the matter.
Like a magic 8-ball.
Oh, just to be clear to those who've not been here before, this is not what my rock looks like. It's just the first rock-sized thing that came to hand.
So the feeling that you would get would be one, you know, when it's a cold night and you get into a warm bed and there's that sense of comfort as you sort of pull the duvet over the top of you. There's that sense of comfort, sense of something feeling right. But in the same sense, there's that very slight kind of when you've got one foot out from under the blanket and you can just feel how cold it is out there. Does that make sense?
Yes, and it makes perfect sense as to why I'm about to do what I'm about to do, which is she looks at it, she looks around. I assume that Delgrim has got his back turned because he's gone to wake up somebody else. She's going to throw the rock as far away from her as she can.
Okay, cool.
But like not over the cliff,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
on the flat.
yep. Off into the darkness. Delgrim, you would hear the sound, sort of the distant sound of a clattering small pebble off in the distance. It wouldn't echo because the space is too big, but in fact, it would almost be barely inaudible over the sound of the waterfall, now thinking about it. So it would probably actually just blend into the other sort of noise around you. But yeah, stone, just you watch it sort of vanish out of your dark vision, Rowan.
This is a proper yeet, though. That'd be kind of noticeable movement that would capture Delgrim's attention.
Because Rowan
That's
said
why I
that she
asked.
had your back to her
Gotcha.
when
Okay, so
she
it's
did it.
a
So
sneaky yeet.
a sneaky.
Gotcha.
Yep, that's another.
A sneet, yes.
Sneet.
A sneet.
A subtle yeet.
So you, Delgrim, you hang up the next person for what, probably Tiernan. You guys continue through the process until finally Miera probably wakes up Delgrim again for the final watch, and you get to the end of the equivalent of your long rest. Rowan, Rock hasn't come back at this stage. But you watch as the rest of your friends start getting around the campfire, getting organised for the day, eating a small meal. Grumpfel probably preparing some coffee and the like.
Yep.
So, what are you guys doing?
Preparing coffee and the like.
Well played, sir. Well played.
Drinking coffee.
And the like.
And
How
black.
far is the ziggurat?
On the ziggurat is like it's a lot, like it's probably a good sort of 15-20 minute walk. Like it's not just sort of, you know, hop, skip and a jump down the road. It's a decent walk away.
Well, Tiernan is pretty much going to be standing on the edge of the camp and just looking at it, basically. Tiernan not Tiernan, Blinky by his side, as he's just inspecting the architecture from as far as
it's from where you are. It's so far away. Like it's like you kind of know it's vaguely illuminated by some of the massive crystals off in the distance, but like it is too distant to kind of get a real sense of anything particular about it. What about the rest of you?
Well, Miera will probably, after packing up her stuff, walk up next to Tiernan, and just sort of quietly say from underneath his elbow, "Do we get a bit closer?"
Well, you're right under his elbow. I'm not sure how close he. I mean, you can give him a hug if you like. That's fine. We're all friends here, so hug it out.
Hug his leg.
Yeah, get off.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where we're going. Huh?
Delgrim?
Grumpfel, Rowan. It's time for the two of you to make decision as to what you would like to do. We three seem to be ready to explore this place and the possibility of danger, true, but also discovery.
Well, only you seem to be across that danger. The other two seem to be willing to throw themselves headlong in, don't they? That is not said with a tone of she's made a decision. That is said with a like, you're saying you are using all the words right now. We have not heard from them all night.
We're moving closer. That is all. Don't think it needs to be as dire as that. I just think we should at least have a look before we cast our judgments, before we say this is a terrible idea, this is not a terrible idea. I just think, why not just go and have a look? It's not going to hurt if we move a little bit closer to get a clearer look at things.
Besides, we've already expressed each other's opinions. I'm not going to convince you, Rowan.
I'm not asking you to give in to me. I'm asking you to hear me.
I did. We're at an impasse. I've made my decision. You've made yours. I'm not here to convince you.
There is no impasse. There is choice. And the choice belongs to each of us individually. Some wish to enter, some perhaps not.
I mean, we're talking in circles at this point. We all have a choice. No one is forcing anyone to make a decision. If you want to stay, if you want to come and move a little closer, just have a look, that's fine. If you want to stay at the camp here, all good, up to you. If you want to blink away, up to you. But can we just at least make a move, because we've been here for so long? I just feel like I would just really just want to have another look and assess things from a different angle.
She is death staring you from the moment you said blink away.
Ooh.
Staring right back at you.
Well, one foot in front of the other. Tiernan just starts wandering, walking towards the ziggurat.
Miera will spin on her heel and walk in the same direction.
I'm going to invite down the back, but during our rest time, it seemed that they can control whose mind their voice emerge in. Is there anyone who wishes to not hear this voice?
If
Very
Miera
well.
still hears that, I will call over my shoulder and just say, I have no objections to hearing what they have to say. And then I will keep marching my little butt that way.
Under her breath, Rowan just says, yes, but you don't seem to be willing to hear what the rest of us have to say, do you?
Rowan, you have been heard.
No, I have said words. You have heard. They have not. They have made up their mind, and they were not willing to listen to anyone else before they made their decision. They didn't hear.
Listening is different
No, you're
to
not.
doing
You're
what
not
you
here.
want to say.
You're not here. You're not here. Like, that's a conversation. Like, if you've walked away, you are.
Okay.
So
Okay.
She wouldn't say it to you. That's the thing. Like, she wouldn't say it if you were there.
right, so you're directing it at Delgrim
Yeah.
in a tone which others wouldn't be able to hear. Is that what
Yeah.
you're saying? Okay.
Yeah.
I wonder, Rowan, if you need to ask yourself if you have heard them. If you have heard me.
I understand that you think you're going to do it slowly. I do not believe that Tiernan has thought for more than 2 seconds about this, and he definitely didn't listen to me.
And
As
what
in,
need
to
does he
hear
have
me.
to? It's again,
Right.
it's his decision, yes? As is your decision, as
And
to
as I
your
said
actions.
to you last night, if you're going to make a decision that could hurt an entire group of people, that says more about you than it does about me.
This may be the case. Indecision may also result in this. You do not know.
But the not thinking about it for a half a second?
This is assumption on your part. In what way do you think that any of us have not thought of this? I'm sure it lay heavily on all our minds in one way or another.
I don't believe that for a second.
You don't believe it.
I don't
This
believe
is
it.
your
second.
decision. You have made decision to not believe it. This is your decision. This is not.
She's looking
result
at you
of
like
that
you are
action.
not hearing her now either. She honestly, like, she just like she feels like there's no point in having any conversation now at all.
Rowan, you wait for one of us to share your view.
No, I don't. But I wait to hear other people's so that I can make up mine. And at the moment,
Then ask.
all I'm hearing, they won't listen. I've tried.
You have not asked, so ask.
I tried.
claimed.
Then I tried, and she bloody walked away from me and wouldn't listen. He doesn't give two shits. The voice has gone up for this, so you probably hear this. I tried. I tried to be heard for a half a second, and they dismissed it out of hand. So don't tell me that I've made up my mind when they won't even broach the conversation.
They did not share your feeling. This is not dismissal. You have not spoken with them. You cannot claim that they have dismissed you if the conversation, as you say, has not occurred. This is nonsensical. Yes?
No, they dismissed her last night. That was like in that original conversation, they dismissed her. So that sentence for her is true.
Does Rowan say that?
Did I Irish accent myself?
Cool. In which case,
But more like observationally, like she's shaking her head in the like that's not true.
Delgrim's comment stands. If you wish them to not dismiss your view, you must have conversation with them. Yes.
What point is conversation if only one person wants to have it?
You will not know until you have it. You say just now. You say just now.
I have tried.
You say
I
just
tried.
now.
I literally just tried. And they won't listen. They won't talk. They just say they want to get closer. They want to go in. There's no conversation in that. That's a statement. That's not a conversation.
So what is it you wish to say?
I've said it all to you, but they won't hear it and they're not listening.
So tell them no.
Have you stopped? Are you still walking away?
Yeah.
So you guys would be able to
Then
hear.
you'd have heard enough to stop you if you chose to stop.
No, we didn't stop. We kept walking. Well, that's what Tiernan would have done.
Then she gestures to the fact that Tiernan is still walking away.
Would Miera have heard that?
The big bit where I
Yeah.
started yelling about the fact that,
Oh yeah.
probably.
Okay. So Miera would turn around and she would say, Rowan, I have listened. We have listened. The problem is you keep trying to force your opinion and the decision you have made on us. You want us to agree with what you're
I
saying
haven't made a
without
decision.
even listening to our reasoning. We've told you that we heard what Dana has been saying. We think it may help if we go. We're not saying, oh, let's just go in, wild abandon. We're going to go and have a look. I'm sorry that I don't have the same thoughts as you. I'm sorry that I don't feel the same way as you. I'm not dismissing you. But I have made my decision. I would like to go and have another look. I'm happy for you to stay here. I would love it if you would come. I'm not putting you at risk. I'm not willfully endangering you. I just want to go and have a look.
You see a shift in Rowan's face, because this is actually the first time that you've talked to her, as opposed to talking at her. Because in the discussion the night before, you chipped at her, you didn't talk to her. Are you planning to go straight inside?
No.
Are you planning to go closer and only? Because those things, what you said yesterday and what you're saying today, are different, and I need to know.
The adventuring
I need to know what your intent is.
The adventuring part of me would love to just go in and have a look. But I am aware that we are in a dangerous place. This is a dangerous situation. I have not once said, let's just run in. Woohoo. I'm saying let's go have a look and reassess from there. Let's get a little closer so we can see things. It's ages away. I want to see. I want to have a look. I want to reassess and take it from there. And then we have another discussion. We all air our thoughts at that point. But we're just spinning our wheels. We're just staying stagnant. We need to do something.
Based on what you have said, Rowan is going to look to Grumpfel at this point.
Grumpfel's going to sort of stand up from the rock that he's sitting on. He's actually going to stand up on the rock he was sitting on. And he's going to call out to Tiernan to come back. I can't yell because it's now people in the place in here are sleeping. So I can't yell, otherwise I would have. So Grumpfel's going to call out to Tiernan to come back.
Well, Tiernan's probably stopped because Miera stopped to turn around and have a... I don't know how much distance is between us at this point. Tiernan just turns and is looking a little bit confused.
So just normal Tiernan face.
Well, he generally does typically have a confused face on.
Is Tiernan is he coming back or is he just stopped?
Oh, he stopped and he's just looking at. It would have stopped when Miera would have stopped because previously she was walking beside him. He would have stopped and just looked confused, looked at Blinky, looked at you guys, going, "What?"
Grumpfel's kind of just gesture for you to come back a bit.
Okay, and he starts. He's beside Miera. He looks at Miera and he's like,
sort of 20 feet away-ish, Haim?
Yeah.
Haven't they made their decision yet?
My friends, we have had some rather intriguing discourse, and I feel like we are close to a group decision here, some of which have made up their minds, others have freely discussed and have evaluated and reassessed. I am confident to say that listening to each of you, I think and I feel we are of a mind to proceed with caution, with communication, and if it calls for it, as my friend Tiernan says, what was your shard folk expression? to get out of dodge if it requires.
Well, yeah, that's what I said last night.
There's been a lot of emotion, a lot of conversation with some very valid, tangible points from everyone. And I think, from what I've heard from everyone to a degree is interested in what's further down this path. And I think everyone is now coming to a realization that we need to stay together, but we need not throw caution to the wind. We need to proceed singularly, but at the same time, united. Am I reading us wrong?
Well,
You're addressing this to everybody, Grumpfel?
Yep.
Grumpfel, like, each of us are individuals. Like, we can make our own decisions.
Oh, I wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah.
But
it's not my role to convince anyone in the group. If they don't want to go somewhere, I'm not going to force them.
I was saying that I was watching people convince themselves. Some were reaching that decision without full thought. And I'm not saying the decision to stay or to leave is a final decision. I could see people wrestling with thought even without realizing they were wrestling with thought.
I would agree. I'm just saying we proceed with caution, just like we do with everything else. I don't feel like we've run into, like, willy-nilly into a lot of things. If we feel like there's some serious risk, I feel like we have assessed it and proceeded with caution.
Yeah, no, we that's true. We have not run anywhere physically, but I think some of us in our minds have run ahead of where we are. Excitement is a wonderful thing. Excitement will get you to places quicker. Excitement will also get you to places quicker without caution. I mean, I would like to have a look. I would also like to come back to tell the tale. If everyone wants to proceed and proceed with caution, I think we can be cautious. We can proceed. We can have a look. And yes, communicate whether we want to keep going or whether it's time to back off a little bit.
Well, okay. Are we going or are we staying? Because I'd like to go.
Rowan shakes her head in disbelief that his response sounds to her so flippant.
Well, Tiernan won't see that.
I'm happy to go, provided, and she looks around at everyone individually, whether Tiernan chooses to look back at her is a different question. Provided people are acknowledging and realizing that there are risks involved here. And it's not just risks that affect you as an individual. They affect all of us, and they affect the world outside of this Kiev.
Tiernan's going to look directly at you, Rowan, and say, I heard what you said last night, and as I said, I would go cautiously. I'm not openly risking anyone who doesn't want to go. I'm not forcing anyone who doesn't wish to go. I've already made my decision.
Wishes to go. It's about what you do when you get there.
No, Rowan, I've already made my decision. I'm not going to convince you. If you don't want to go,
she's going to look at Delgrim and shrug in that, like, this is what I mean kind of way.
You seem to be missing Rowan's point of potential consequences beyond this place, Tiernan.
But no, I don't think everyone realizes my point. My point is I have considered everything that everyone says. For some unknown reason, people think I don't listen to people. I do. I've evaluated what they said, and made my own decision. I've seen the evidence and I've come to a conclusion. My conclusion is my own. I've said that I'm going to go. I'm not going to force people to come with me. If they've arrived at a different conclusion to me, that's fine. I'm not going
Delgrim
to
will
force
chuckle a
people.
little bit at that point, and pull out his axe and kind of position himself as though he's ready to head towards the ziggurat.
Oh, I thought we were
Tiernan-
rolling for initiative for a second. I'm like, oh, yeah, let's go.
Tiernan, I don't know about the rest of us, but I, for one, cannot take seriously the value of evidence weighed by someone who does not believe in ghosts who has also fought one. But tell me, are we investigating this amazing building, or are we not?
We haven't made that decision yet. We are proceeding in that direction cautiously. We have not made a decision about going inside yet. Okay?
Excellent. Delgrim will pull the shard to which Dana seems to be attached. Dana, we are ready for your presence. But I am curious, if there is anything you can tell us about this place you called your home, before we approach it.
Am I speaking with just you, or am I speaking with everybody? You told me not to speak with everybody before.
Dana would like to know if everyone is comfortable with their voice inside their head.
Yep.
Yep.
Primary evidence is the best.
I would like to hear what she has to say.
Delgrim will settle a look on Grumpfel.
I will listen for the moment and reserve the right to evict if I choose.
So is that right? Rowan, are you sort of nodding in agreement with Grumpfel? Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Is that agreement, Rowan? I will not allow this creature to make you feel uncomfortable if you are not.
Provided you don't expect me to speak.
As I said earlier, I hold no expectation of anyone but myself. Okay, maybe that is not true. I have many expectations of many people under many circumstances. Not in this particular circumstance. Dana, my companions are all willing to have you speak to them, but they ask that they can revoke that space if they so desire.
They just need to tell me that they no longer wish for me to speak to them, and I will stop.
Thank you. So again, is there anything you can tell us of this place that was your home?
Our mind is a jumble with being apart, and it was a long time ago since I was there. My recollections, the ziggurat itself is a home of history and knowledge, but of what we cannot focus. I cannot focus without the rest of me. What may lie in there, what may exist in there now from when I was removed, I cannot tell you beyond that when we were slain, as is the nature of my kind, we reformed into the shard. And from there fractured into the two pieces. of one. Maybe we were always separate. It is. Esma is a fraction of what I was or we were before we were slain, but still powerful. But Esma's mind is weak. That I believe is where we can strike. I can take you. I think I can take you into our mind, into the mind, and that is where you would be able to make me whole. But Esma is still very powerful, and even getting close enough could be of great risk.
They're going to look to Tiernan. Does this offer more evidence than you had previously?
No.
It would seem our approach of caution would seem wise if we are to enter. Yes.
Of course.
What do you make of this claim that the mind of the other one is weak?
That would seem to suggest that if things go south, then they would be vulnerable to things like psychic attacks or things of enchantments, perhaps, those sort of things. If we're looking at it purely from a combat nature, I guess you'd say. But that would may also suggest that they may not be as observant as well. But that's just a presumption on my part. So caution, yeah. You're probably the best at stealth and scouting. Would you like to go first?
I would say the ball is best at scouting.
Oh, Blinky.
Oh, wow.
He has a name.
Yeah. Jeez.
I'm not sure at this point I want to be so attached to the ball that I want to use his name. But it is a tool to potentially establish what we might encounter. Yes?
Yep, indeed. Well, I can send Blinky on ahead, if you like, and we'll just follow behind.
I think this is wise, Grumpfel. Does this satisfy your thoughts of caution?
Grumpfel will look over at Rowan and says, I think for the moment I am.
She's going to nod and not say anything.
In everyone's head, you hear the voice of Dana go, I can sense everyone's fear. And I can understand why you would be fearful.
Fear is the mind killer.
I only ask you to do what you are willing to do. I can only beg. I do not want to be trapped down here anymore. We wish to be whole. I wish to be whole. But I am powerless without your help.
Is the making whole, the reformation of yourself? Are we? Is what's required within the ziggurat to make that happen?
I believe that if with your help I can enter into Esma's mind, I can make us whole, but only with your help.
Is Esma in a corporeal form within the ziggurat?
Yes.
Is that corporeal form weaker than we are?
I do not know your capabilities. All I know is that...
Talking of pure flesh.
I do not understand your question.
We are 5 people of obvious physicality, discounting what we can do purely on a physical scale. Is Esma larger and more powerful than us, even in her weakened state?
Grumpfel's asking if they lift.
You lift, bro.
Esma is a fraction of what we were before we passed. But we hold great psychic energy.
We as in you, or we as in you and Esma?
I have enough to speak, but not enough to manifest beyond that in this physical realm. Esma holds the rest of our power, which is why it is so important for me to get within my mind, within our mind. Well, that's where Esma will be the weakest.
Sounds very much to me like 2 separated parts of whole. One mind, one body.
Perhaps by joining the two, you weaken the... By joining the two, it could form a new union, which would weaken the existing.
It sounds very much like Kamatea and Maisha.
What do you mean, Grumpfel?
They are 2 sides of the same coin.
And do these 2 sides find some kind of unity, or are they forever opposed?
No, unity. And that's why I'm curious as to what is happening. Okay, let us proceed with caution, I say for myself, and those of us who travel that direction, let us travel that direction.
Friends, if this goes terribly wrong, and I tell you all to run, please promise me this, that you'll do so. You'll take those bombs, which I have given to you, Miera, and to you, Rowan, and you collapse the entrance to this place.
My friends, I tell you right now, I will be the last to run to make sure that you are physically able to, with my last breath.
If I run,
and you
I
see
will
it,
do
and
so cautiously.
you see a dead set fucking serious look on Grumpfel's face.
I've also prepared something to assist with a more cautious approach too.
Oh,
I
fantastic.
can make one of us invisible if necessary.
Be unnecessary for me. I mentioned I've been toying with some skills. This may be among them.
Ah. Well then, 2 scouts would be better than 1, I suppose.
I still think Blinky should be the one scout in this particular instance too.
We can
Go
always make
ahead.
him invisible.
Is this possibility?
Yes.
In what way can we have Blinky tell you what Blinky finds ahead?
He would have to come back and tell me. It's not an instant process. That's the only downside.
And how would he tell you?
Yes or no questions. We have a system.
And if Blinky is invisible, how do you know that he has returned?
He taps me on the shoulder.
Flies into the side of your head. Thunk.
Doesn't slow down, just takes out Tiernan in one go.
Okay, so what I'm hearing now is that you guys have reached a somewhat tenuous agreement to at least head towards the ziggurat with the intention of having a look around and then making decisions from there. Cool.
Correct.
All right. Okay. So, considering the time, I think this is probably a nice place to stick a pin in it.
We started walking. Go
Yeah,
team!
yeah.
Did we though? Did we, or are we about to start walking?
Okay.
Because I feel like we're about to start walking.
We walked
at this
closer to
point.
each other physically.
And to each other's hearts, emotionally.
1 foot in front of the other.
I just want to see the cigarette.
My knee hurts. Can I sit down?
All right. So, again,
Yeah,
really,
sorry,
I think really important after a session like this to once again reframe the fact that this is a role-playing game. We are all in roles that we take on in regards to our characters. So what I would like everybody to just do is to go around. Let's do our usual, hey, like favorite pieces, but also just and this is might seem a little bit weird, but just say again like who you actually are, like you the human being, not you the character, because I think it's really important. Again, there's been some conversations and it's important for us to just remember that there's people behind the characters, and it's all part of that importance of having like a safe space when we play these sorts of games. So Mr. Methian, I'm gonna throw it over to you first, just because you're to my right.
Sure. Hi, I'm Promethean. Ta-da! This is me. I play games very casually but prolifically on Twitch, and you'll find me doing this as Delgrim. You'll find me over on It's Fate's Grip, playing a wonderful campaign run by Emily over there, and you'll find me running a campaign on The Law Rights, brand new channel on Twitch also. I love all these guys, and I've loved this session. And my favorite moment, I think, was actually Hamish pointing out that the sparkle cookies would have been soggy with gross, muddy, yuck water that I dived in the previous session. So thanks for that, bud.
Yeah. Can I add us rolling and the dice agreeing with us?
Yeah,
Great,
yeah.
great.
And the dice
Great
agree
great
just how
dice.
gross the
Good work,
sparkle
dice.
cookies were. Oh, I'm so sorry, Cass.
That's why you're supposed to eat them when they're given to you.
Needs more preservatives, apparently.
Dirt cookie.
Yeah, they're
Also-
now Durga pocket sand biscuits.
Who you gonna throw the baton to next?
I will jump us straight over to Heath, please.
My name's Heath. I'm the Antipodean D20, and this has been a roller coaster of a stream, that's for sure. And I love the fact that everyone played their character to the point where if any one of us had have backed down and gone, "No, you know, fuck it, you're right, let's just go," I would have gone, bullshit. That is not the character that we have come to love over the last however many bloody sessions we've been doing this and continue to do it.
28.
People played their character really well, and that's got to be an overarching favorite moment. The fact that the air was palpable. There wasn't just straight out fighting. There wasn't just straight out agreement to do something where the situation the character's in warrants conversation. And as strained as it was there, and it was true to the party. And I think that was fantastic.
Cool. Excellent. Love it. Who are you going to chuck to?
I am going to throw to Kate.
All right. Hi, I'm O'Sullivan Kate. I am a performer in the meat space, which is probably why I RP harder than I should. You can find me here. You can also find me on Dungeons and Doctorates, where I play, in my words, not anyone else's, a high elf with a stick up her butt. And I'm about to join the cast of Mistworld over on That's How We Roll, which I totally should have plugged at the start, but completely forgot to. So whoops. They're a lovely bunch of buggers over there as well. Tomorrow morning, you can also find me on Jack Squarepeg's channel talking with Matt Brown from Split the Party about all things positive game design at 10:30 a.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time, which means I'm up very, very early. And I have other fun things coming as well. So keep an eye on my Twitter. It's all over there. My favorite moment was Delgrim going back to get the shiny rock that had been put down there many, many hours ago. And then Ham just being like, it's gone. It's gone. There's no more rock. You had your chance. It's gone. I love the little detail moments and things like that. I think are great. Also, shout out to Heath for much adorable daddy-daughter bonding time, as I'm going to refer to the Rowan Grumpfel Deep and Meaningfuls as.
He sees a lot of the party as like nieces and nephews, and as well as very capable party companions. It's just there's
We need a fantasy version of that.
Super.
Yeah. I'm gonna throw to Cass because I feel like we should finish on John for finishing up the night reasons.
Hi, I'm Cass, or Shadow Me. I do other things online. I do.
You do.
I do stuff on the Meeples and Dragons channel on Friday nights. We usually don't play Radiant Shadows on Friday nights, but we are this week, And so next Friday is another episode of It Fell Out Back, which is a Fallout style TTRPG. It's it's DM'd by Anthanon. We've got Nephis in there. We've got Piglet. We've got Piggles. We've got Joel. We've got me. I wasn't in it last week. We had D20. It was great. Anyway, I think my favorite part, well, I had so many because tonight was really good. Like, I felt like it was another one of those episodes where, like, it was very emotionally charged, kind of like arguments and stuff like that, which is fun. But I also did appreciate Tiernan burning the coffee beans. I thought that was good, and I'm kind of liking this new kind of logical friendship that is forming between Tiernan and Miera, which is rather odd, and I kind of like it.
Miera's never This is going to sound terrible. Miera's never necessarily come across as super logical.
I think at this stage it's any port in a storm.
Yeah. Pitching her cart to that way.
Oh, wow.
Ugh.
Tiernan,
Wow.
you're just there.
Yeah. You'll get me to what I need, Tien, and then I'll throw you to the side.
Exactly. No. I love you, dear.
Just your sudden but inevitable betrayal.
Awesome.
But can I use also just a little bit of time to throw back quickly to Heath, because I think he has something else he wants to plug before we finish up, if that's okay.
Oh, yes, if no one minds.
Yeah, go ahead.
In a nutshell, very, very quickly, which is unlike me, this year is 50 years of Dungeons & Dragons. So Dungeons & Dragons was first published late January 1974, and Gary Con, which celebrates the life of co-creator Gary Gygax, is on in 3 weeks' time in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. Obviously, we can't all be there, so they have a virtual element, and I will be running again this year the weekend for the Australian New Zealand streamers, and we'll have some fun people running games. It's over 4 days this time instead of 3, and we'll be having some games run by some wonderful people, and you'll see some of the wonderful people here perhaps in it as well. So that's coming up in 3 weeks' time. Look out on the socials. You'll inevitably see it.
Outstanding.
Muchas gracias.
And last, and by no means least, John.
Hi, I'm John the Dragon from Meeples and Dragons. You can always find me right here on this channel. We do various little shows, mainly focused around the TTRPG space. As Cass has said, that we also have the Fallout, and there might be some news for a couple of other one-shots popping up here and there. We do occasionally do stream video games, but haven't done that of late for real-life reasons. But yeah, you can also find us. We do run an online tabletop specialty store, meeplesanddragons.com.au, and we do our fantastic tabletop themed classes. And I've been hit up by Saz, who's in the background, who is our marvelous producer, who also features on it's the Law Rights.
Yeah.
Promethean?
Yeah.
Yes, she is a real person. She does exist, and you can find her playing the fairy Tiny Wing over on the Law Rights channel this Sunday, which everyone is very keen on.
I hope she goths out again. That was super fun.
Yeah. It's an interesting character.
Saz is really Skynet.
And I've been asked to plug the merch again. We did create some merch that is available on the fourth wall. I call it the fourth wall, and I don't know why I say it like that. I just do. So we got the notebooks, the buttons, and the stickers available.
Excellent.
If you like our show, please, every little thing helps, keeps the lights on. My favorite thing of tonight, I almost want to say Daddy Delgrim tonight. Literally
Daddy
going around,
Delgrim.
Daddy
What?
Delgrim
that's
going
got
around
some-
to the little groups of going to each party of people just to talk to them, see how they're feeling, and try to come to an amicable resolution, I guess you'd say.
Daddy Delgrim only shards.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
But we are going to raid out to friendly here. So, did you want to say anything, Hamish, or we're ready to go?
I think we're done. We'll be back in a fortnight's time on
Yes.
Saturday, not
On Saturday,
the Friday, a usual Saturday, 7 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Come and join us and
See what the ziggurat's all about.
Yeah. Awesome. Let's go raiding.
Yeah,
Woo!
I want to know why Saz keeps nervously laughing whenever I mention what's in the ziggurat.
Awesome.
I'm eager to find out.
I think it's going to be full of coffee beans.